The Ferrari that crashed at Rocher Road was a limited edition Ferrari 599 GTO, which is believed to be one of the fastest Ferraris to ever hit the market. It can accelerate from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 3.35 seconds and can reach a top speed of 335 km per hour. There has actually been a call for drivers of high-performance cars to go through defensive driving or to go through courses where they can familiarize themselves with driving a high-performance car on our roads. What do you all feel about this? Arun, as a driver of a rather high-performance car yourself?
I feel defensive driving as a personal thing, yeah, it's a good thing to have, because if any point of time you are in a situation where you're slippery road or you've lost traction, oversteer, understeer, if you know how to handle, you could recover.
Yep.
The chances of you recovering is a lot higher because you have the knowledge to use it. But if you're trying to get people to high-performance cars to go for assessment review, whether they're going to use that knowledge on the road, they can go and pass it. But if they don't, they pass it and they just carry on, I'll drive as how I feel. It's not going to make any difference.
There's a misconception that defensive driving, people think, oh, I'm not going to race, I'm just going to drive, and send my kids to school. So why do I need to go and do defensive driving or advanced driving? But it's more of personal safety, like simple things like how to avoid obstacles, sudden obstacles, a kid running, dashing on the road, a dog, just sitting in the middle of the road and things like that.
Should it be made mandatory then? Defensive driving for all drivers?
You look at it in this way. When you're riding a motorbike, you get class 2A, 2B, 2A, and so on and so forth. Every class allows you to drive to a certain CC. So if you don't pass, you can't move on. I believe for brand new drivers who have no experience driving high-performance cars should at least have a basic test, whether they're able to handle the performance. Like I said, any slight misjudgment or error, you're going to get into an accident without fail. You have no experience driving high-performance car. You go from normal 1.3, 1.6 car, suddenly you jump up to a 2.2 liter or V8s running from 180 horsepower to suddenly you jump to 500. You're not prepared for the kind of power that you have at your disposal.
Right, so there should be a separate license for drivers of high performance.
That's how I feel, because I've never driven a supercar. I've sat in one and it's scary. Literally, the acceleration is just your heart literally goes to the back seat. And if I want to drive a supercar, I would actually prefer, for my confidence alone, just to know that I can't handle the car, I would go for a test.
This is going to be a headache getting a license.
Yeah, it can be something, it can be looked into, but I think it might be, if you want to talk about implementing, it might be a bit tricky.
Because, if you say, for example, let's have 3B for a start. Are we going to cap it at 1.3 or 1.6? Which means
follow the COE,
which should be,
3A's.
you limit people's choices of
3B,
being able to buy the car that they really want.
But isn't that a good thing then? You have to show the, for example, 3B license before you can buy that car.
Yes.
And by having gone through, at least you've gone through a test in that car, a practical test on the road or the circuit or what. So you're more ready to drive that car when you actually purchase it.
I think it's good and bad, because if that's the case, then defensive driving, so to speak, that course per se is totally irrelevant already. Comparing going for the extra course or having different categorization of driver's license, like 3B or 3A or whatever we were talking about, I would go for the course.
The option of having a course.
In the next clip, we talk about speed demons. Are drivers of supercars more prone to speeding? Stay tuned.